Student athletes Maddie Segrist and Lucy Olson. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Dillon. Just a reminder, please state your name and affiliation, and then we'll direct questions to the student athletes first so that we may excuse them. Denise?
Yeah, well, what a great night here at the Finn. So proud of our team coming in here, ready to compete against a very talented veteran Florida Gulf Coast team who has great experience in this tournament. And our girls came to play and got the job done, and couldn't be more excited to head to Sweet 16 and see who we're going up against.
Questions for the student athletes, please raise your hand and we'll get the microphone to you. We got Terry down here in the front.
Terry Tui, Delaware County Times. Lucy, you got off to a hot start. I guess you struggled the other night. What was different for you tonight than Saturday?
Yeah, I think there were just a few more opportunities today, and I just had to take them in order to help my team out to win the game. So I think I just took advantage of the opportunities that were given to me instead of, passing them up.
Did you feel a little more comfortable in this setting than maybe the whole team? Were you a little more comfortable today than you were Saturday?
Yeah, we got a taste of the crowd that was there, the environment, so that probably played a role into it as well.
Questions for the student athletes? Dan, right here. Terry, right next to you.
Dan Gelson, Associated Press. Maddie, you checked out at the end of the game. You hugged out every teammate down the line. After the game, after your post-game interview, you're in the stands hugging everybody. What's your general feeling? What's going through your mind during these moments as you head to the Sweet 16 and get to celebrate?
Yeah, I said to Brooke, I was just thinking about when we first got here and there weren't that many people in the stands. It's a sold out crowd. It was just so exciting and just trying to take it all in. Just look around because if this is my last game home, that's a great way to go out.
Questions? We got Glenn down here. Oh, go right here first. Okay. And then
Brooke Ackerman with the Villanova. Lucy, can you take us into that post-game locker room feel? Just kind of bring us into that moment, what it was like to finally be with your team alone.
Yeah, it was incredible. We're all such great friends, so I wouldn't want to celebrate it with anyone else. And we were just all so excited, made it to the Sweet 16. It was just amazing.
down here for Glenn, in front row.
Yeah, Glenn Papazian at PhillyCollegeSports.com. And Maddie, can you talk about how meaningful it is for this team now to advance to the Sweet 16 and have opportunities to move beyond?
Yeah, there's such a strong tradition of, basketball in general at Villanova. And, everyone wants to leave their mark. And there's so many, great players. We have such a strong alumni base, coach included, of, people who come out to all the games. And, you hear the stories about when they played. And, the 03 team that went to Elite Eight, they still talk about that. And, just to be able to, try to carry that tradition the best you can, it's something I always cherish.
Additional questions for the student athletes? There's one in the back here.
Austin Herzog, Media News Group. Lucy, you play for this environment, to be in this home crowd and in front of this, but there's also a homegrown, hometown sort of environment to this team with the way that the roster's built. How special is it? Does this enhance how special it is to be with a group of people that you had been competitors with for a long time and now are doing it with them as teammates?
Yeah, it's awesome. Playing against them, never wanted to go up against them because they were so good, but now that I get to play with them, it's amazing, and all of our families get to come to these games being right around home. So, yeah, it's just awesome.
Back up here to Dan. Go to Mike first. Okay, go Mike first.
Full circle.
Yeah.
But this is a big game, and you guys just jumped all over them at the start. They blocked their first two shots, grabbing the loose rebounds. It's 8-0, and the crowd's going crazy. How important was that? Those opening minutes kind of set the tone for what happened the rest of the game.
Yeah, you gotta punch first in these type of games. You can't look at anybody's record, what they're seeded, anything like that. Everybody's trying to win, and they're going to do whatever it takes. So that was one of the things we talked about was, defensively really setting the tone early. And I think, Lucy, Brooke, Chris, everyone was really doing that. And, when that happens, then the offense gets a little bit easier. So just trying to set the tone. I think we did a great job.
Down here for Mike in the first row.
Mike Jensen, Philadelphia Inquirer. For Maddie, it's almost a cliche to say, what did the coach say to you at halftime? But, they got close, so I'm just curious the message, whether it was, those words, or message to each other, too.
What she said to me was just, continue to remind the team that we're inside out. We got to look inside out. We were settling for shots in the second quarter that we weren't taking those shots in the first quarter. We were trying to get whatever we were running, that's what we were trying to get the ball. We had a clear height advantage inside, and we wanted to, continue to use it and go at them that way. And then defensively, we were giving up way too many threes and the N1s. I think they had like 3 or 4 N1s in the second quarter, and, that just can't happen.
There's a question in the back here.
John Nevels, Philadelphia Sports Digest. For the both of you, could you talk a little bit about the intangibles of this team? I mean, the stats are up there and things like that, but what kind of stuff happens behind the scenes that seems to just elevate your games?
I would just say the hard work that we bring every day to practice. Everyone wants to be there, and we push each other to be the best we can. So I'd say the hard work is through the roof with this team.
Yeah, I mean, just to go off of that, I think there's so many, things that happen that, you don't see, like Kylie Swider, like she braids everybody's hair before the games. I mean, that's something little, but that's something that, really brings the team together. Megan Obrys, she's out with a hand injury. You wouldn't know it the way she sits on the bench. She's the loudest one. And I think, everyone just, has a role and does it really, really well. And I think, when you have a group like that who just buys in, like Brooke Mullen, every single night she's guarding the other team's best player, and like she knows that's her role and she's going to do it great. And I think, when you have a team like that, a lot of really special things can happen.
Got time for 1 or 2 more. Anything else? I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Denise? I'll go here to Hoops first.
Hi, Denise Dickweiss. How are you? I don't know if you're too young to watch Shelley play. Ever watched any
that's a
films of
compliment.
her play? She and Maddie are the 2 most complete players I've ever seen at Villanova. Can you talk about what you've heard about her and how you think the players might compare?
Yeah, well, I appreciate the sentiments, but yes, I was only a few years older or younger than Shelley, so I did have an opportunity to see her play here at Villanova, and I think David did some good coverage there. Channel 6, I can remember watching a whole special on her and how great a shooter she was. So, and then as a player in the mid-'90s, I heard it every day from Harry about how great Shelley was. So great appreciation for her game, for sure. And, seeing Maddie come in here and do what she has done is remarkable. I watched her as a freshman from afar, but have an opportunity to coach her. You recognize that there are few times you have a player at that level of efficiency, and you can see different elements of players' games grow and develop. But what Maddie has done and continues to do is off the charts.
We got one in the front here from Glenn.
As coach, you started out quick. They made a run, got back at you. So the third quarter seems to where it turned. Are you more pleased that it was really a defensive effort, or maybe the offensive effort to create that, or was it just straight balance?
Well, it was a combination of both. I mean, the first quarter, we came out ready. We were doing what we do best, execution and getting stops and rebound the basketball. The reality is, Christina Dulce gets in foul trouble, and that just changes the whole setting because our mentality was inside out on the offensive end. But now you're only relying on Maddie on the inside. Chris does a really good job. I said our players were taking shots, and she typically is the one cleaning it up, with missed shots. So she wasn't in the game, so it changed the whole dynamic. We start the third quarter, she's back in there. So, everyone doing what their role is, their responsibility out on the floor, and I think Chris really was a game changer in that aspect when you're playing a smaller team. And then you speak to the defense. It's really great when we can switch 1 through 5. I mean, they're a great, efficient offensive team who shoots the 3 and they get to the rim. We were able to switch 1 through 5, and that kept them out of those positions.
Questions? We have one right here in the front row from Terry.
Terry Tui, Delaware County Times. Hi, Denise. You know, are we seeing kind of Lucy blossoming at this time of year, really coming into her own?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we know what Lucy's capable of doing, and you always want it as a coach, and her teammates encourage her to see that on a consistent basis every night. But to the point of what she even said, she understands that she's going to find her spots when necessary. It's a tough position as a scoring point guard. You know, she wants to facilitate, but she's also realizing, like, oh, the team needs me to score the ball as well. I think she settled in today and recognized, again, size advantage as a scoring point guard, just shooting up and over some of the players. And once she made those first couple shots, yeah, she was ready to go. But Lucy, I say it all the time, you know, it's someone who never cuts corners. She doesn't skip steps. You're just going to continue to see her grow each time she steps on the floor.
It seemed like she got going early, and that allowed Maddie to kind of get going.
Yeah, I think the greatest thing about this team has been, you know, and it's not just Maddie in the beginning, you know, other players contributing, making shots either from the outside, you know, or Chris coming up with an offensive rebound putback, Lucy setting that tone, and then, you know, it settles in where she gets shots. If we're just counting on Maddie just to get her those touches early, it's a little tiresome for everybody else.
We got a couple in the back here.
John Neville's Philadelphia Sports Digest. You guys are getting, it seems, quality minutes from your bench at the right time. Can you talk a little bit about that depth that seems to be really making a difference?
Yes. Well, we've always relied on Bella Runyon. You know, she's been that sixth player since her freshman year, and she just embraces that role, starting her in the second half just to keep that spark, keep that energy going. So she's given us that, but I feel that her offensive game has grown. It's there, and she's feeling more confident with producing there. Caitlin Oriole, again, we joke, like, when it comes time to battle, she's the one you're calling her number. So she doesn't get phased in big games. I think that's the greatest thing about Caitlin, like just having that mentality. She's going to compete no matter what, no matter who she's going up against. And seeing Zanai Jones get more minutes, that's crucial for us. You know, just being able to take Lucy off the ball a little bit certainly helps give us that scoring opportunity. So anytime players, you see it with the experience, and two of them, you know, Caitlin and Zebi, and sophomores, it's exciting because I always think the greatest growth is in a player is going from sophomore to junior year. So them getting this experience is really good for our program.
We have one from Tommy back here.
Tommy Godin, VU Hoops. Congratulations on your 400th career win.
Thank you.
How special is it that this one was the one to send you to the Sweet 16?
Yeah, I'll certainly remember it. I mean, it's, you know, as a coach, you remember some of the great wins, and unfortunately you remember all the losses. But this one I'll certainly hold on to. Yeah, it's unbelievable, just the journey. Take a little time to reflect, and I always say you're not in this position without tremendous staff. Felt I had the best at Drexel. You know, we just continue to get even better here at Villanova, and you're nothing without players. So I've been super fortunate in my career to be developing and working with some incredible young women who just, they want to give everything to their university. So it's been a lot of fun.
Any other good? Josh in the back. Oh, okay. Then
Denise, Austin Herzog Media News Group. Half of your roster and most of your rotation are all from the Philadelphia region, which feels uncommon for a team achieving what you are this year. How does that hometown, homegrown roster build, enhance the experience both over the season and especially this weekend?
Yeah, well, I always think it's important to, you know, try and get the best in your area. Don't overthink it. You know, look right in your backyard and then expand out. Now, luckily, you know, we have Maddie from New York. You know, we could get her out of that territory. But that's the region. I think some of the best basketball, you know, you have on the East Coast here. So if you can stay in that region, again, the distance, it's not too far. People like their families are here. They can go home and escape. But, yeah, always trying to convince, especially here. I think Villanova is the best in the city, so you're going to draw the attention of the best players out of high school.
Josh?
Denise, Josh Verlin, City Basketball Love. I was a minute late. Apologies if somebody's asked this already. But a lot of times after wins, your girls have sort of that business like, all right, on to the next one. Obviously tonight you let them really celebrate and get it. How important was it to let them, have that moment of the catharsis of the release and getting to, go celebrate with the students like that?
Oh, no, you're not passing that opportunity up. I mean, we're playing here in our home court, a big win the other night, and just seeing in their eyes how much they wanted this one as well. So you have to enjoy these moments, or you're going to lose the innocence of the game and how much they put into it. So, yeah, I just appreciation of the crowd, everything that our department, the university in general, has put into making this weekend so incredible. I'm so glad the girls felt to recognize the students out there and do everything possible. I mean, the fans stayed there in the stands, so yeah, we're going to soak it up as much as we can, and then regroup. They have the day off tomorrow. It's a quick turnaround, and figure things out on Wednesday, who we're going to face, I think, Friday night.
We have a question here in the second.
Chris Rim, the New York Times. Do you think that, I don't know if you've given it much thought, but do you think the change in the regionals from 4 sites to 2 now is a good one for the game?
I'll be curious. I guess it is the first they're doing that in a while, so it will be interesting to have a number of the teams down there. I think at this point, yeah, everyone's just excited to play and hit a neutral court, so I think it will be good. I think it's going to be the attention that we need for women's basketball to see it continue to grow, and you're seeing having the home sites, everyone with sellout crowds, great, so hoping to have just as good a draw now that we're hitting some neutral sites.
Over here to Megan.
Megan Morhart, Philadelphia Inquirer. You've talked a lot about what Brooke means to your team. Tonight she kind of just did a little of everything, and she really set the tone and kind of made a big difference on the defensive end. What did you see from her impact tonight?
Yeah, well, as we said, Brooke makes a difference on the defensive end every night, and just that commitment. I liked her energy on the offensive end as well. She was playing basketball. She wasn't second guessing, should I, shouldn't I. She knows what needs to be done at this point, and did just that. Even missing a couple shots, she just reset and got right back at it, whether it was a rebound or the stop that we needed. So you talk about those intangibles. They are everything you need in a team to continue, to be successful in general, but to continue to advance. And Brooke's leaving it. She certainly left it out there in the pavilion.
Any other questions? I think we're done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Denise.
Cats.